Come on, let's welcome Dr. Steve Franson, my coach. And he's looking good. Oh my gosh. Do a catwalk. Come on, catwalk it.
Oh man, friends like Hubbard. I made it, thank you, Lord. Unbelievable, unbelievable. And I knew you guys were talking about me from the stage because I think 15 people saw me as I came in. Oh, you made it, you made it. I'm like, here we go. I'll tell you, this week, traveling across country, I came over from the East Coast between hurricanes in Florida and an earthquake in Mexico and forest fires in the Pacific Northwest. It's like an extreme sport just trying to get through the airports. It's unbelievable, but I made it. I've been on the run. I literally just came in here sideways. I'm sweating like a Patriots fan in the fourth quarter of the season opener last night. Don't go there. I had to get there before Harvard went there. So, hey, how about Paul Reed and his team putting on just such an incredible event? Can we give them another round? Paul's awesome. He is awesome. He is a beast. We need 1,000 copies of Paul Reed, don't we? And he's got an amazing world-class team. Thank you, Paul, for all you do. I'm psyched to be back at ChiroFest. I love my ChiroFest family. And I was psyched when Paul told me what the topic was this year. It's all about the brain. Man, it is all about the brain, isn't it? And it's always been all about the brain. But I'm so psyched that our focus, our messaging, our talk track, our positioning is just moving in that direction because that's where the science is moving. But it's always been about the brain, hasn't it? Ask DD, ask BJ, right? I'm just excited that the science is finally catching up with what we've always known to be true. Isn't that right? Say yes if you get that. See, I love watching the medical world scramble. I love watching science scramble, trying to search for what works in healthcare, right? And all their research just keeps substantiating and showing why what we do works so well. I'll tell you what, I'm excited to be a chiropractor, and I don't think there's ever been a better time. You guys should feel really good about being a chiropractor. Let's get a round of applause for chiropractic. So I love chiropractic, and I love chiropractors. Like Matt said, I married mine. I have 7 in my family. Both of my wife's sisters are chiropractors. Both of them are married to chiropractors. My brother's married to a chiropractor. I'm sure we drive everybody crazy. But I love chiropractors. I know thousands of you, and I have the privilege of working with hundreds of you. And I can tell you, my favorite thing about all of you, 100% of you, is that every one of us got into chiropractic in the first place for one common reason. We all want to get better outcomes for our people. Say yes if that's you. See, I was right. 100% of chiropractors get into chiropractic for that one reason. We want to get better outcomes for our people. So let's talk about that. Because if that's really what we're in the business of doing, getting better health outcomes, then you gotta understand how to predictably drive those better health outcomes. Here's what behavioral psychology teaches us: that you cannot do an outcome. God bless us as chiropractors. We wish we could, right? We wish we could do the outcomes for our patients. But chiropractic is a done with you program, not a done for you program. Say yes if you agree with that. Okay? We can't do the outcomes for our patients. You see, your behaviors drive your outcomes. Your patients' behaviors drive their outcomes. The things that you do habitually, the things that you reproduce over and over again, that you repeat on a daily basis, those things predictably drive your outcomes. So if we want better outcomes for our people, they've got to start behaving better. If we want different outcomes, they need to start behaving differently. Now, what behavioral psychology also teaches us is that our belief systems, your patients' belief systems, organize their behaviors. So belief systems organize behaviors, and behaviors drive outcomes. So if we're in the outcome business, I think what we have to embrace as chiropractors is that we are actually in the belief system business. Say yes if you get that. And I'm going to take a different approach here because it is all about the brain. And when we talk about the brain, I'm going to talk about the mind. Because it's my premise that what we say supersedes what we do. What we say supersedes what we do. And what I mean by that, and this is somebody who's a hardcore, serious, philosophically based chiropractor that takes my chiropractic and the things we do very seriously. But what we say shapes what they believe, and their beliefs organize their behaviors, and their behaviors drive their outcomes. So what we say supersedes what we do. Here's what you need to know about the brain. The brain operates essentially as almost two identities. There's two parts to the brain when it comes to behavior. There's the emotional brain, and the emotional brain is where all the energy lives. It's where all the movement lives. It's where people take action. They take action through emotion. Say yes if you get that. In behavioral psychology, they refer to this as the elephant. The other side of the brain is the analytical part of the brain, and the analytical part of the brain is the passive observer. If the emotional brain is the gas pedal, the analytical brain is the brakes. It's the emergency brakes. It wants to stop, look around, gather data, gather more information. Who's with me? Do you guys see it? The emotional brain and the analytical brain. They call it the elephant and the rider. Imagine the rider like a jockey sitting up on top of the elephant, trying to steer that emotional energy through the jungle, trying to keep it on a path, especially in the long term. The elephant and the rider, the emotional and the analytical. The gas pedal, let's go, let's take action, let's move. And the analytical, whoa, slow your roll. I need more data, I need more information. Everybody with me? Chiropractic is essentially three domains: attraction, conversion, retention. Attraction, conversion, retention. Attracting potential new patients into your practice. Converting potential new patients into ideal active patients. And retention, collecting ideal patients. Who's with me? Attraction, conversion, retention. Conversion is emotional. Retention is intellectual. Conversion is emotional. Retention is intellectual. You need to understand this so you don't blow it. Because we can only help the ones that we convert. Say yes if you believe that. We can only help the ones that we convert, but we can only save the ones that we retain. Here's my premise. We do our best work over time as chiropractors, don't we? Do you teach your patients that chiropractic is a lifestyle success strategy for healthy human beings and not simply a short-term treatment modality for a symptom or a crisis? Say amen if you're with me on that. Am I in the right room? We do our best work over time, don't we? It's how we use chiropractic in our lives. It's how we use it for our families and our friends and everyone we care about. We do our best work over time. I believe that all the best results live in retention. I believe that the best clinical results for the patients live in retention. I believe that the best results for your practice and the biggest impact that you'll make in your community lives in retention as you collect ideal patients. And I believe that the fulfillment for you, doctor, and your team lives in retention, doesn't it? Don't you hate it when a person discontinues care in your practice? Don't you hate it? They were part of the tribe. They were in the family, right? They were Ohana, and they leave, right? I mean, I'm disappointed when people don't start, don't get me wrong, but I hate it when they discontinue. I hate it when they discontinue. In our practice, retention became priority, number one, because I know that that's where all of the results live. We've enjoyed a PVA, a patient visit average of over 300 visits for more than 15 years. That means the average person that starts in our practice stays for over 300 visits. What would that do to your practice? Can you imagine that practice? What it sounds like, what it looks like, what it feels like to be in that practice, to work in that practice, to take care of those people. Conversion is emotional. Retention is intellectual. Let's look at the first one, conversion. It's one thing to get somebody to start care. It's an entirely different thing to get somebody to stay under care, isn't it? Conversion is emotional. In other words, people will start because of how they feel, won't they? That's where all the thrust lives. That's where all the emotion is. People will start because of what they feel, but they'll stay because of what they know. Say yes if you get that. Okay? And you've got to be careful because these can't leak into each other, because what I taught you a minute ago about the brains. Conversion is emotional, retention is intellectual. Let's break it down. In conversion, in essence, you should be thinking that our job during, let's call it day 1, day 2, is that fair, in a conversion process? In the conversion process, our job is to turn a skeptic into a believer, right? To take a skeptic and turn them into a believer. I think it's safe to assume that most people that walk into your office are skeptics, isn't it? And that's not a negative thing. It just helps you communicate better. If you assume they're a skeptic, you're going to win because you're going to do a better job communicating with them, won't you? But we want to take them from a skeptic to a believer. Now, I don't mean anything derogatory by calling them a believer, but you got to understand that that's what they are. Do they understand the nervous system yet? Guys? No. Do they understand the spine yet? No. Do they understand subluxation yet? Do they understand the adjustment yet? Do they understand the chiropractic principle yet, above, down, inside, out? Do they understand the wellness paradigm yet? They don't understand anything yet. They believe you. They believe that you can help them get what they want. Say yes if you get that. They believe you, and that's exactly where they are. You see, as chiropractors, we're crazy. I mean, I love you. I love chiropractors, but we're crazy. Because on day 2, at your report of findings and recommendations of care, and a person says yes to start care, what we hear is, yeah, I'm in. I'm a lifer. I'm in. Outside in. I'm inside out. You know, I'm going to get adjusted regularly. In fact, I'm bringing my wife in. I'm bringing my kids in. We have a baby. My wife's pregnant. We're going to bring her in. We're going to breastfeed until they go to the prom. They're going to crawl to high school, right? No more dairy in my house. No more vaccinations. No more ice cream. I mean, you name it. We're crazy. That's what we hear. And I love you for that. But what we should really hear is, okay, I'll give this a try. I'll start care. And now I'm available to you. I'm available to you to learn. You're my coach now. You're my doctor. You're my Sherpa. Teach me. Show me a better way. They are now available to you to learn. And that's your job. Day 3 and beyond is to take them from a believer to an understander. Because you don't have to believe in chiropractic care, you can understand chiropractic care. Say yes if you believe that. You do not have to believe in chiropractic care because you can understand chiropractic care, and when you understand chiropractic, you want chiropractic. We have to take people from believers to understanders. And here's the thing to know, is believers are heavy, aren't they? You know that person and the patient when they first start care the first couple of weeks, because they're just a believer, they're heavy. They have a lot of questions. They have doubt. They have pushback, a challenge, right? They want to ask you a lot of questions. They want a consultation on every visit, don't they? They're heavy, and you carry them around on your back. Well, understanders like you and me and my family and your family, we are weightless, aren't we? We are weightless. Our job should be to create understanders, to create ideal patients, and gather ideal patients. Collect them up like helium balloons. They're weightless. Think of a practice full of your family. How many copies of my family do you think you could serve a day? What would that sound like? Hey, what's going on, doc? Good to see you. Check my spine. Get me adjusted. Power's on. Have a great week. I'll see you next week. Who's up for that? How many copies of your family could you check and adjust every day? How many copies of my family do you think? Honestly, put a number in your head right now. If you had an army of understanders that came into the office to get checked and adjusted for the same reason our families did, how many people could you serve? Get real about that number. The only difference is you have to get committed to take them from believers to understanders. Because once you understand chiropractic care, you want chiropractic care. This is so critically important, you can't leave it to chance. Guys, this is vital. This has to be highly intentional, highly deliberate. There has to be mechanisms and systems in place to assure that every single person that God trusts you with gets the opportunity to become an understander. You cannot leave it to chance. It has to become automatic. It can't be memory managed. If they come into your practice and they go through your systems and your process, they get the best opportunity. You've created the space and time for them to have their epiphany. Say yes if you get that. There are specific mechanisms that we have in place to make sure this happens. 3 of my favorites are right here: the workshop, progress reports, and table talk. The workshop. I'm going to turn around and I'm going to ask you guys a question. Raise your hand if you're teaching workshop at least twice a month in your practice. Who's teaching their workshop, their Better Results Faster or their new patient orientation? Hands up. How many people are doing it? Would I be pissed if I turned around right now? Okay. That's why I don't do that anymore. It just kind of throws me off. Your workshop. You got to do your workshop, guys. You've got to create the space and time for somebody to have their breakthrough. What's the anatomy of a breakthrough? A person has to be present. They have to be available. They have to recognize that they're trying to get some work done. They're stuck and they've exhausted everything that they need to know, everything that they know to do. And then you show up as a catalyst with a new methodology, a new idea, a new perspective, a new paradigm, a new sets of strategies and process. And they hear the truth. And they have their epiphany. They have their breakthrough. You have to create the space and time for that. You have to sit them in a room, tell them to shut off their friggin' phone and listen to me for the next 25, 30 minutes, and I'm going to walk you down a path. We're going to break down your broken paradigm, and we're going to show you the truth. Who can do this? You have to do it. You have to do workshops. Who's committed to doing it? Get it back in place. I talk to so many chiropractors like, yeah, we used to do workshops. Man, those work great, so we stopped doing them. You know, that's when I start seizing up. All right, so progress exams and progress reports. You got to do progress exams and progress reports. Listen. The patients that you take care of, they're human beings, okay? Human beings love to be measured. We love to be measured by an authority. We love a dashboard, don't we? We love feedback. Human beings love to be measured because it makes them feel like what they're doing is worthwhile. It's important. If I want to invest my time, energy, focus, and money with you, guess what? I want to know you're measuring me. I want to know what's before and after, what's changing. Give me some feedback. I want to know what's being measured. I know that it's being measured. I want to know how I can influence my outcomes, and I want to know that I'm going to get good feedback. And what's good feedback? It's timely, it's relevant, and it's personalized. Give me feedback. Tell me how I'm doing, doc. You got to do progress exams and progress reports. You got to know exactly how to do them. And then table talk. Table talk. It's continuing ed, guys. Every patient interaction, every collision, every office visit is an opportunity and therefore a responsibility to share the truth. Do you know that the second they walk away from you, the truth does not just dilute, right? It's not just going, they're not just leaving your office and going out in the world, and over time it just sort of dilutes down, right? The truth is under assault, isn't it? What you're teaching them is under assault. They're hearing the opposite from every single person that they interact with the second they walk away from you. Do you own that? Do you know that every single office visit, you have an opportunity and a responsibility? Check that spine, do an objective analysis, deliver the adjustment and the corrective force, and deliver an patient education that challenges and shapes their belief system. Table talk. I've never seen a practice where the doctor was a master at table talk and not have an incredibly successful practice that was making a huge impact. And I've never seen a practice that's making a huge impact that's incredibly successful where the doctor is not awesome. He or she tableside. Say yes if you see that. It is absolutely true. Think of every super successful chiropractor you know. They are magic tableside. They take this seriously. Well, here's my premise. There are 12 things every patient needs to know and they'll never leave you. There are 12 things every patient needs to know and they'll never leave chiropractic. All right, thanks for having me. Do you want it? You want them? Number one, healthy is normal. Healthy is normal. Sick is abnormal. It is normal to be healthy. It is abnormal to be sick. Say amen to that. If you are the champion of that message, do you know that you will be the sole person in their life that tells them that truth? People have been stripped of hope and personal responsibility, right? By everyone that they know, like, and trust. They're telling them the opposite of that. Smash that. You are designed to be healthy. You're hardwired for it. Healthy is normal. Number two, the body is smart. The body's intelligent. The body is not stupid. Stop treating it like it is. Champion that message, and your patients will stop choking down chemicals and drugs, trying to manipulate their physiology and cover up the symptoms of their body begging for mercy. Your body is intelligent. It has an innate and inborn intelligence. You are smart. You are brilliant. You are genius. Hey, cutie. You're awesome. You are so brilliant. Your body is so awesome, isn't it? She knows. No baggage at all. Isn't it great we raise these brainwashed little buggers? Isn't it so awesome? I love it. My own little science projects. Your body is intelligent. Number three, that intelligence courses across your nervous system. Your nervous system is the master system of communication in your body. Your nervous system is the master communication system in your body. And it's the flow of that information across your nervous system that keeps your body healthy and healing. Number four, your spine, your spinal column is your suit of armor that protects that spinal cord. Your skull is the helmet that protects your brain. Your spinal column is the suit of armor that protects your spinal column. Number five, life, your life, modern life is unnaturally stressful. And those stresses are coming at you from every direction. Thoughts, toxins, and traumas, like Jen was just talking about, stresses from every direction. And those stresses cause a problem called subluxation. And then teach them about subluxation. What is subluxation? What does subluxation cause in your body? What causes your subluxations specifically in your life? How would I know if I have subluxation? And what should I do if I have subluxation? Number 11, I'm on a mission. And this is a mission-based practice. And everyone that you know and love has a spine and nervous system and is in that same stressful environment and needs to get checked. Amen? And number 12, I need your help. If I knew them, I'd check them. And if they knew what you now know, they would do what you do. I need your help. Who can do this? I call them the dirty dozen. 12 things every patient needs to know, and they'll look at that list. 12 things. If they knew those 12 things, they'd never leave you, am I right? The dirty dozen, because my associate doctors used to tease me because I had a clipboard with this piece of paper on there that had a checklist on there, and it had coffee spilled on it, it was all wrinkled up, and it was all crumpled up, and it had notes and written on it. That was my 12 things that every patient was going to learn, period. Every one of them. That was my responsibility. They called it the dirty dozen. Well, you don't have to have a crumpled up piece of paper anymore. I've created something for you guys, and I'm going to give it to you as a gift. So I created a poster for you to hang at home. Looks great over the fireplace. Or put it in the back office. Or you know what? Hang it in your waiting room. Hang it in your adjustatorium. These are the 12 things everybody needs to know, and they'll never leave you. You can walk right up to that thing and point it. You should set expectations with your patients every time you see them. Hey, look, you got a lot to learn about health and healing. There's things that you need to start doing and stop doing so you don't interfere with my work. You don't even know what to ask me yet. So every time you hear, I'm going to teach you something about your health and healing. Okay? I'm setting that expectation with you. And guess what I do every visit after that? I teach them something about their role in their health and healing. Because I set that expectation and I follow through with it. So I'll walk them right up to the poster and go, boom, you're on number 7 today. Boom. Who can do this? Prompt, get it, it's free. All you got to do is text that number, put CF for ChiroFest 2017, CF17. You got to put that in there. Put your name and your email, and I'll shoot that right out to you. I think I have to charge you for shipping, but otherwise it's free. That's my gift to you because I love you, and my purpose is to help you do a better job serving yours. We have got to create understanders, because you do not have to believe in chiropractic. Your patients don't have to believe in chiropractic. They can understand chiropractic. And when they understand chiropractic, they want chiropractic. And when they understand these 12 things, they'll never leave you. Thank you for your loving service.
Come on, let's give it up for Dr. Steven Franson. Hey, did anyone get that? Like you stopped on number 5 and freaked you out, jumped to 11? I'm over here like punching my neighbor going, what's his problem? Jet lag, man. He's a monster in the profession. Thank you, man, for all you do. We're glad you're here. Hey, grab your ChiroFest gear. We're going to get our swag on today. Listen, we're going to a lunch break. 2 hours. You want to be back on time. We are giving away memberships. We're going to give away a lot of prizes. Don't forget, there's only 7 spots left for lunch for the spinal hygiene class. Lunch and learn, $30. That includes the class and lunch, buffet style. It's going to be fantastic. So make sure you go get your ticket. We'll let you know how. You want to be back sharp. We're going to be shooting out shirts, giving away some prizes. If you register right now for ChiroFest 2018, it's only $175 for the doctors and $100 for the CAs. The first, I think, 10 people that register are getting a free month of some prizes we're giving away afterwards that we just got some vendors to give away. So we appreciate you. We love you. Thank you, Dr. Paul Reed, for putting this together. It was an epic first morning. Be remarkable, and we'll see you after lunch. It only gets better.